Hi girls at Scuba, this is Michelle from SeaMorgens, and for those of you that are in isolation and maybe have a little bit of time on your hands and looking for something crafty to do, I'm going to show you how to make either a headband or a scrunchie. I realise a lot of people will not have sewing machines at home, so what I did was I practiced first making this with a hand sewing method, which turned out actually pretty good. So I think if you have a little bit of time, you can have a go at making this without a sewing machine. For anybody that's wanting to make a headband, the fabric does have to be stretchy, otherwise there will be a problem to put it on and off. If you want to make a scrunchie, the fabric doesn't have to be stretchy, but you will need a small piece of elastic. This elastic you do get in most sewing kits, like half a centimetre to a centimetre in width and 8 inches long. This is going to take you about an hour. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. Usually hand sewing is quite nice to do whilst you're listening to the radio or watching a bit of TV. So it doesn't have to be all done in one go, but it will take you about an hour, and it's the hand stitching that's the longest thing. It takes the longest. So I hope you enjoy making them, and let's get started.
Okay, let's get started. So what we need is a scrap of fabric, a pencil, scissors, needle and thread, some pins. Don't need so many, just about 10 would probably do. Some elastic. Now, not everyone has elastic, but you can get them in most sewing kits. This is a particularly thin piece of elastic. I would normally use thicker, but I've run out. I don't know, half a centimetre to a centimetre width elastic is fine, just 8 inches long. And also we'll need a ruler, or if you want, you can make a template like I've made. You don't need that, it's just because I make them all the time, but the template needs to be 18 inches or 25 centimetres long and 4 inches or 10 centimetres wide. So what you're going to do is take, with the underside of the fabric down, take your pencil and your ruler and draw a box, or alternatively you can use the template to draw the box using the pencil on the fabric. And then once you've drawn the 18 inches by 4 inches box, cut out the box out of the fabric, and then you're going to take the pencil and the ruler and just half a centimetre in, you're going to draw another line, as I have done here with the pencil. That's going to be the sewing line, so that for the hand sewing option you can make sure that you sew a straight line. Then what we're going to do is we are going to fold the fabric together in half, the right side of the fabric to the right side, so it's in the middle, and we are going to pin it all together on one side. The pin's about 2 centimetres apart. So what we're going to do next is we are going to hand sew with just a basic in-out running stitch the whole way across the line, and as you can see my stitches are absolutely tiny, as small as you can, until about halfway, and then there's going to be a centimetre gap, and then stitch in the rest of the way to the end and tie that off too. Now the key here, before you tie any of the stitching off, is you need to make sure that before you tie it off you pull it, so that basically once you pull it to put it on your head, the stitch won't break, the thread won't break. The next step is to take one end of the fabric and push it through the middle, till it comes out the other side, and then we're going to line those two pieces up and pin them together. So once you've put your pins in the end, it should look like this, and then all you're going to do is take your needle and thread and stitch about 1/2 centimetre all the way around this edge too, with again as tiny a stitch you can manage. So once you've stitched the whole way around this area and you want to make sure the stitches again are really tiny, then before you tie a knot in the thread, just want to give it a good pull to make sure that you've got lots of give before you tie and cut off the thread. Then what you're going to do is find your hole, find your centimetre hole opening, and open it up. It's only a little hole, so a little bit tricky, and then pull the inside out, and this is your headband. So if you want to make your headband into a scrunchie instead, you take your 8-inch piece of elastic, just put a safety pin inside, and then you're going to find your hole opening. Again, place the safety pin inside, keeping a hold of the other end. You're just going to thread it all the way through. Oops. Till it comes out of the opening again. Take your safety pin out, and then all you want to do is just put the two ends together, put a pin inside, and then you just need to stitch the pieces of elastic together, and then it's going to be a scrunchie. Ta-da!